Grabar. Hola, hola. Grabar. Hola, hola. Nice. Giocare. A giocare. Bien, vamos a jugar acá un ratico a esto. Una horita. Porque me tengo que ir. Capaz llegamos a un capítulo.
Previously on Alan Wake, Alice has been kidnapped.
Alan, please help me.
Alice? How the hell did she get her hands on the manuscript anyway?
I don't know. She's resourceful. I told you you were too hard on her. Listen, I found out all sorts of interesting stuff while I was digging around.
Yeah.
Mr. Wake, it's Sheriff Breaker. We have an FBI agent here, Agent Nightingale.
FBI?
He's anxious to see you.
Nightingale.
You better come to the station.
Okay, I'll be right over, Sheriff.
Be
Let's
right
make
over,
this quick,
Sheriff.
huh?
Let's get over
Help you
this
folks?
quick, huh?
Name's Randolph. I'm the manager.
We're looking for Rose. Works as a waitress down at the diner.
Rose, sure.
¿Qué onda,
Who
Pato?
wants
¿Todo
to
bien?
know?
I'm Alan Wake.
The writer,
¿Qué onda?
huh?
¿Cómo estás? Hace
I heard
mucho
on
no
the
hablamos,
radio you were
boludo.
visiting. Well, I'll show you her
¿Qué
trailer.
onda?
That Rose, she's a nice girl. Always pays her rent on time.
As I was saying, Al, I found all sorts of weird stuff from the local newspaper's archives. This place is crazy. Disappearances, mysterious deaths, urban legends come true, and get this.
Gordo
Most
puto.
of this stuff takes place around Cauldron
Sí,
Lake.
gato, siempre yo
Well,
te
you
hablo y
ain't
vos
wrong,
me
mister.
clavás el visto.
The Indians thought the lake was a doorway to the
Vamos, hay que
underworld.
juntarnos, boludo.
I'm
El
the
fin de que
God-fearing
viene ya
type
entro
myself.
ahí.
I don't hold with that sort of thing.
Ahí medio.
Yeah, okay.
No son
Anyway,
vacaciones, pero.
There was an island
Estoy afuera,
owned by a
sí.
guy called
Siempre te digo
Thomas
yo y vos
Zane.
me
Now,
ignorás,
some of the
hijo de
articles
puta.
I found about him make him out to be a famous writer, but I ran a bunch of searches, couldn't find a single thing he wrote.
Vamos a
Zane
hacer
was
algo.
heavily into diving, so much so that the place came to be called Diver's Isle. But the volcano under the lake erupted in 1970, and Zane went down with the island.
Yeah, how about that? It was there in the morning, as if it had fallen from the sky. But it would take a tornado to lift something like that. We're damn lucky it didn't crush any of the trailers.
Dale, pelado de mierda.
It gets better. A local girl, Barbara Jagger, drowned in Cauldron Lake just a week earlier. They
La
were
birra.
lovers.
Sure, Jagger's a local spook story. The Scratching Hag comes for you in the dark. Childish stuff like that.
Anyway, Al, I'm just getting to the best part. All of the articles about this stuff were written by Cynthia Weaver. I asked around, and she's that crazy bag lady you met.
What, the lamp lady? She can be a little
¿Qué va a
loopy,
revisar
but
la
she's not
basura?
homeless.
¿Pelado? ¿Fisura?
Yeah,
¿Qué haces?
anyway, she knew both Jagger and Zane
¿Qué haces,
before they
tarado?
both died, and she had some kind of a breakdown.
Rose Marigold. Dale.
Well, mister, this here's Rose's trailer. You mind me asking what you want with her?
We're just here to talk to her, pal.
Espera que voy a cambiar esto. Dale, mogólico. ¿Qué tengo que entrar? Así. Rose.
Welcome to... Oh dear. Mr. Wake, I'm so glad you're here.
Rose, you have my
¿El
manuscript?
pelado?
Oh.
¿El pelado?
Yes. Yes. Please,
¿Se
come
apareció el
in.
pelado?
Hey, this is really good.
Rose,
Yes,
my manuscript. I really need it.
I understand. I know what you need. a muse to inspire you.
Oh, for Barry. She doesn't have anything.
Yeah, hey, Al? Al, what's... Oh...
Barry!
A la pinga.
What?
Tomá.
What?
Ah, no se rompe la taza, ¿qué? De hierro la taza.
It's coming for you, hiding in my barber's skin. I'm too weak to stop it. You must turn the lights on.
What the fuck?
I promised I'd come visit you and your lovely wife. You must finish what you started. I insist.
You must turn the lights on. Turn the light on.
Back to work, boy.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
I felt nauseous, hungover. Only anger kept me
Me
going.
encanta esto que pongan fotos reales.
I
Del
can't
tipo,
tell
del actor.
reality from dream anymore, but it seems I have an imaginary editor to help me. She's an old woman in a funeral dress. I call her Barbara Jagger. She's very strict. I'm writing faster and faster. My manuscript is being heavily revised. The edits are getting very aggressive, and each day there's less of me and more of her. I hate it, but I know she's right. She promises me I can save Alice this way. She knows more of this than I do. About the complex incantation I'm attempting. About this place. She's worked with another writer
Thomas
under
Zane.
similar circumstances, Thomas Zane. The genre of the story seems to be shifting. It's turning into a horror story. I'm getting close. I can feel it.
Barry.
Rose took a day from me. I had less than 12 hours left to meet the kidnapper. All I could do was get Barry into the car, work something out once I got on the road.
Welcome to the Oh Dear Diner. What can I get you today? Coffee?
I couldn't work up much hate for Rose. Something had used her to get to me and left its mark.
First refill is free.
Mm.
Milk and sugar on the counter there. Would you like
My
to
gun
eat
and
this?
flashlight were gone. I'd have to find a way to get Barry into the car as quickly as possible. There was no time to waste.
Una banda de páginas.
Mr. Randolph liked Rose. That little smile she had. How she was still sweet when life had tried so hard to make her bitter. It wasn't any of his business what she did in her trailer. But those strangers, the writer and his smart-ass sidekick, looked like trouble. And they'd been in there for hours, way past her normal bedtime. He reached for the phone and called the sheriff's station.
¿Y qué hago? ¿Sigo el mismo camino que hice antes?
I just stepped outside to catch a breath of fresh air. Let me tell you, the weather's getting heavy. Nights like this make me especially glad I'm here talking
La verdad,
to
con el
you
control
and
puedo
not
mirar.
home in bed. Once the weather takes a turn like this, I can't sleep at all. It's all tangled bed sheets and dark thoughts, punctuated by the occasional plunge into nightmare. Is it just me? Well, perhaps it is. But I hope I can make the night a little bit easier to get through. Caller, you're on KBF FM.
Hey, hi, it's Walt Snyder.
What's on your mind, Walt?
Well, I am the way you are, but, well, I can't sleep either, you know? I just been staring out the window here, trying to make sense of it all, but, I ain't been drinking either, you know?
Well, you sound like a man with a problem, Walt.
I had argument with Danny.
No importa, boludo. Mira, un termo. Y no sos vos. Me gustaría que tenga una barra de estamina. 25, boludo, son 100. Allá está el pelado. Pela.
Oh, you're gonna get it now. God knows what you've done to that poor girl.
This is Agent Nightingale, FBI! Get him up, Hemingway! You're under arrest! You move a muscle, I'll unload right in your goddamn face! Stay right where you are, Slane!
Que es Max Payne, boludo.
What are? I'm standing right here, you goddamn maniac!
Helicóptero, todo.
I hated to leave Barry behind, but there was no way I'd miss my appointment with the kidnapper.
Give it up, Mr. Wake. Come on. Take it easy on him. Get after him. Don't let him get away.
Corre, 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 corre. Ah, ahora tiene... Ah, no. Pensé que tenía resistencia infinita ahora, boludo, el hijo de puta. Corre, 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 corre.
Stop running! Freeze!
Freeze, ¿cómo me ve?
Okay, man. Keep your eyes peeled. He's gonna try to make it through here.
Oh, damn.
Man out! Whoa! There he goes! Stop!
Corre, 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 corre. Corre, guachín. No, 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 odio el bosque con toda mi vida. Otra page. Another page.
For decades, the darkness that wore Barbara Jagger's skin slept fitfully in the dark place that was its home and prison. It was hungry and in pain. It dreamed of its nights of glory when the poet's writing had called it from the depths and given it a brief, terrible taste of power and freedom. The rock stars had stirred it from the deep sleep the poet had sunk it back to in the end. When it sensed the writer on the ferry, it opened its eyes.
En el ferry. ¿Está en el ferry? Oh, shit. Está la puta darkness acá. ¿Qué? Oh, checkpoint. Buena y mala señal a la vez. Drop hazard. No hay nadie ahí. Ah, sí, mira. Mira, 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 mira. Mira los tipos ahí. What the fuck? Ah, pero no soy yo solo el que los percibe. It's Andy.
This horror was everywhere I went, circling me. The cops didn't stand a chance. They were after a writer, not a monster.
Corre. Fucking run. Run, Forrest. Run, Alan.
You on the ground. Hold it right there. There's nowhere to run. Freeze!
Epa. Por ahí no hay nada. Allí hay una puerta. Checkpoint.
This is James. Mulligan Thornton, come in. Over.
Thornton.
Thornton here. James, we got both Wheeler and Rose in custody. They didn't put up a fight or anything. Why, they were... Hey, Mulligan, what are you doing? Come on. Sit down and give me that. James, Mulligan here. Over. Go ahead, Mulligan. Over. We got Wheeler and Rose here. Wheeler's drunk or hopped up on something. Speaking of which, that Fed had a pretty distinctive whiff of Otis Scotch about him, if you know what I mean. Over. I don't have anything on that, Deputy Mulligan. Over. Well, whatever. Anyway, Rose is just being plain weird here. You better get Doc in to take a look at both. Over. Gotcha. You better get them here quickly. The, Fed's gonna want to interview Wheeler. Over. Oh, yeah, I'll bet he does. Looks like they have a lot in common. Mulligan out.
I could see the lights of the radio station in the distance.
¿Allá tengo que ir? O allá, no sé. Yo me voy para acá. Chau.
I imagined that the broadcast tower in the distance was part of the local radio station. Maine seemed like a decent guy. Perhaps he could give me directions to the coal mine. Unnatural shadows clung to the gate. The darkness that was after me was trying to stop me. I wouldn't get through without a light.
¿Con esta light?
There was no power to the searchlight.
¿Y qué hago? Acá. Toma. Tuki. Ahora no tengo pistola ni linterna, no tengo nada. Estoy en bolainas. Otra vez. Nice. Corre. Me dieron la linterna significa que van a ir.
It took me a moment to
enemigos.
recognize the flashbang grenades. They were an ideal weapon for my situation.
Ok. Pum. 5 me quedan. Corre, gordo.
And here's another call. You're on KBFFM with Pat Maine.
It's Milt Peabody, Pat.
What's on your mind, Milt?
No me importa. Me voy. ¡Pum! Corre, 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 gordo. Ouch. No quería gastar otra, pero bueno. Corre, corre, corre. Ay, se cansa el gordo este. ¿No tiene más granadas? Sí, sí, sí. Allá, 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 allá. Corre, 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 corre. Corre, gordo. Odio el bosque, bro. Pueden salir de cualquier lado. Me cagué todo. Ok. Checkpoint.
I hope Maine could lend me a car to get to the coal mine.
Oh, why, hello, Lorna. What do you have for us? What do you mean?
It's a trailer park. Of course you're going to have trouble in a place like that. I mean, what do you expect? The sheriff should be helping us normal citizens instead of wasting resources on those people.
Well,
They'll have to try to sort themselves out. I'm sorry, but my granddaddy settled in Bright Falls in 1911.
well, thank you very much for that compassionate viewpoint, Lorna. Oh, here's a little surprise. The famous writer Alan Wake just walked in. Folks, I'm going to see if I can talk him into an interview.
Come on in, Mr. Wake. Oh, I'm so glad you could find the time to do this, Mr. Wake.
Nowhere to run now, Dan Brown. You back away from me. Don't hurt her.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Everyone calm down. Put the gun down. We're all friends here, right?
Cool your jets, Nightingale. We got him. What the hell's the matter with you? There's a civilian in there.
What the fuck. No, no, no. Odio el bosque. Odio el bosque con toda mi vida.
I'll get you yet, even if it kills me. You hear me? You hear me, H.P. Lovecraft?
I had fallen off so many cliffs it was ridiculous. That's what you get for naming a book The Sudden Stop. It was probably good I hadn't had the chance to tell Maine where I was going. I'd have to lose the cops and find my own way to the mine. Nightingale stared through the broken studio window into the dark woods. He turned around, started to walk out, but Maine grabbed his arm. "Young man, you almost shot me. You don't shoot off rounds at people like that. What's the matter with you?" Nightingale shook his arm free, marched out. His cheeks burned with rage and humiliation.
What the fuck? Ok. Bengalas, boludo. La puta madre con el bosque este del orto. Ok, tengo pistola. Tengo munición de escopeta, pero no tengo la escopeta. I don't know. Ah, anda a cagar.
There was no sensible reason for the power company work lights to be here. It was almost as if they'd been left for someone like me to use.
Acá está. 10 balas. Four taken with a single flashbang. Nice. Chao. Luz, 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 luz. Bien, y ahora corre. Para allá, ¿no? Supongo. No hay otro lugar. Ve hacia la luz. Nunca mejor dicho.
Sarah trusted her gut, and her gut said Agent Nightingale was an asshole. He felt wrong, and it wasn't just the smell of stale booze. It was in the way he flashed his badge, pulled rank, the look in his eyes when he wanted answers. Where was Alan Wake? What was this about an accident? Where was his wife? And most importantly, why did she let Wake go? He wouldn't answer her questions. Federal business was all he'd say.
Ok. Ok, ok. Pilas de litio.
Hello?
The most stubborn man I've ever met.
Alice? Alice?
Alan. Alan. I'm so afraid. Keeps me in the dark. Please help me. I look at you, Alan, and it's not you. Something else. Looking out from behind your eyes.
Alice, I'm here.
I'm so alone here. It's all gonna go to hell. You need to be careful.
Yo estaba allá, boludo. Y tengo que ir ahí.
The connection had been terrible, but that wasn't the only thing that hadn't been right with the call. She sounded wrong somehow, but she had called me. The pipe wrenched itself loose from the bridge's steel framework. Wrapped in darkness, it floated in midair, twitching. For a moment, I didn't understand what I was looking at. The heavy object lurched at me with impossible force. I threw myself out of the way, but just barely. When I turned my flashlight on it, it shook in a dark rage before it flew at me again. I could see a railway bridge up ahead and a warehouse of some sort on the opposite shore. I hoped I could find a car from there.
Ok, entonces, ¿allá qué hay? Hay una casucha. Yo pensé que tenía que ir allá, boludo. Mira. Muchas balas me dan. Ok. Bueno. Pum. Corre, 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 corre. Checkpoint. Checkpointer. Checkpointer. Hay una parte que está muy buena de este juego más adelante. Todo este juego está bueno. Pero hay una parte creo que tocas la guitarra, cosas así medias raras, está muy bueno.
The darkness that was pursuing me was growing stronger, and it was taking over everything in its path.
¡Me mató! Nah. Qué falso. ¡Qué mentira!
The darkness that was pursuing me was growing stronger, and it was taking over everything in its path.
What the fuck? No tengo más grenades. Corre, 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 corre. Por el costado. Run.
I slammed the door shut right in his smug face. He pleaded for me to open the door. True to form, the asshole actually thought I would obey. I had no sympathy left. No guilt either. Not for him. I took a moment to savor the scream. I bet I had a smile on my face. It was all that I had time for. The dark presence was inside the lodge with me. As a teenager, just starting to get interested in writing, Stephen King had been a source of inspiration to me. I thought about all the inanimate objects that had come to life in his books. No one is safe in a good horror story. Certainly not the protagonist. That's what makes them fun. This was anything but.
Nice.
The darkness could possess anything, and it was getting closer.
Ok. Termito. What the fuck. Algo me respiró en la oreja. Me dan cosas, me van a cagar a tiro. Yo sabía.
Did you call 911?
Bien. ¡Ah! Me cagué todo. In light, you can hurt them. Ok. En la luz puedes lastimarlos. No lo voy a ver. No tengo ganas y no tengo tiempo. Esto sí.
The darkness
Está re
surged
interesante
towards
esto.
me, sucking everything loose from the ground into its depths, tugging at my clothes. I saw the flare the kidnapper had dropped and threw myself towards it just as I felt my feet leave the ground. The darkness embraced me with the force of a tornado. Somehow I managed to light the flare. The darkness roared and cast me away. I fell toward the dark waters of the lake far below.
Desperate self-delusion. The vast cosmos of madness.
Oh. Nice. La bulldozer. A la pinga. Bien. Bien por la linterna de alta resistencia también, boludo. Bien, 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 bien. Voy a activar esto e irme. Pero no, yo lo quiero matar a todo. Authorized personnel only. Authorized personnel only. Solo personal autorizado. Me aspiro. Ah, tenía las llaves y todo.
I had
Buenísimo.
never been this glad to see the sunrise. I had a couple of hours to get to the coal mine. The coal mine wasn't far now.
Right for
Today, I would meet the kidnapper, and he would give me Alice. I wouldn't give him any other choice. A drowning man will clutch at a straw.
Conducí, boludo. ¿Por qué te quedas acá?
Little by little, without realizing it, I'd come to believe that the story in the manuscript was coming true. The current of its narrative had taken me deeper and deeper into dark waters. Alice had been taken from me. Barry was probably in jail. I was a fugitive from the FBI. The whole world taken over by the dark presence was trying to destroy me. It all felt real, but it matched a textbook case of insanity.
Me llevo la Jeep. A 4x4. 4x4. Eso está buenísimo, boludo. De manejar, o sea, en un juego así, tan viejo, increíble. Me bajo y me agarra el otro. Y de paso investigo esto, a ver qué hay. Una radio.
This is Pat Main, and you're listening to KBF FM. Folks, I want to apologize for kind of abandoning you to that looping music track last night, but I was detained. You see,
Detained. Puedo ir para allá.
with an itchy trigger finger.
Me han cortado el camino. Por acá. Por acá entonces. Yo no sé si tengo que ir para allá o para acá. Tiene pinta de que para allá, pero... No, para allá. Claro, tengo el mapa. Qué pelotudo. El cosito que me dice para dónde ir. To the coal mine. Es de día, así que... Chill. Oh, tengo que ir por allá. Y no tengo auto. ¿Habría alguna forma de bajar con el auto, no? Supongo. Acá hay un auto. Ah, mirá, vine para el otro lado. Qué retrasado. XD. Soy un pelotudo, güey. Qué retrasado que soy. Bueno, me llevo la Jeep esta. Mirá cómo voy. Mirá qué lindo, mirá qué lindo. Soy un puto retrasado. Allá. Opa. ¿Qué hay acá arriba? Checkpoint. Ok. Ok, acá está la coal mine. La coal mine.
Welcome back to KBF FM. Hope you enjoyed that tune.
Me
Now,
chupa la
Doc,
pija, la
you
verdad
were
eso.
talking about life and finding that.
Y ahora me agarro este coche re facha. Tuki. Voy ahí, todo facha, mirá. Me robé todos los autos. ¿Qué hay acá? Creo que tengo que seguir para allá, así que me meto acá a ver qué hay. Ay, me pica. Ahí. Pica, pica. What? Una página.
For Mott, spying on the writer on the ferry had been a disappointment. His boss had made Wake out to be something special, but Mott hadn't been impressed. He'd gotten a good long look at the wife, though, and he liked what he saw. Mott had fantasized about goading Wake into a fight, but it hadn't happened. Still, he'd get his chance to see if the writer had anything in him. He'd been promised as much.
Ok. He's been promised as much. Dale, gordo, no te canses. No. Me caí. Me he caído. Dale, guachín, no dobla este auto poronga. Pero por mis cojones que me lo llevo. Es de los viejos, que tienen menos tracción que... No sé. Ole. Bright Falls Coal Mine. Visitor Parking. ¿Sí o no? ¿Dónde se me
I was
canta?
early.
Acá.
I was supposed to meet the kidnapper at noon in the main building. The coal mine was quiet. It was a museum now.
Vi un termo acá. No sé para qué son los termos de café. O sea, no sé qué lore tienen. ¿Y todas estas me las salteé?
With Nightingale gone and the night wind blowing in through the broken studio window, Maine stared at Sarah. The sheriff looked away. Maine's voice shook with barely controlled anger. That boy's doing more drinking than thinking. I hope you know what you're doing, Sarah. He's got a sickness in his eyes. You take my word for it. He wants Wake for a reason, and it's not for anything good.
What's the fuck? Oh, tengo recuerdos de esta parte. Tengo flashbacks. Flashbacks ahí. Pop, pop, pop. Tengo pop-ups. I have pop-ups.
I didn't want to go outside. Cops had to be looking for me. The noon sun turned the place into a sauna. The day dragged on. Different scenarios ran through my mind. Ways of how I'd torture the kidnapper to get Alice back. Or the different horrible things he could have done to her. I imagined her dead. I had no way of knowing she was still alive. It was killing me. I was running on blind hope. It was all a waste of time. The bastard never showed up.
Dormite ahí, boludo. Y listo. Pistol, ok.
Wake,
Where the hell are you?
change of plans. You know where Mirror Peak is? It's a big mountain north of where you are. You follow the path from the mine, you can't miss it. There's a lookout point there. I'll be waiting.
I'm through being jerked around
You
by you.
want to see your wife alive? Because if you do, you better watch what you say to me. Do we understand each other?
I want to talk to Alice.
Yeah, and I want the manuscript. Don't keep me waiting, Wake.
Hello? Hello! Ah! I'm gonna kill him!
I had to get to Mirror Peak.
¿Por dónde? ¡Ay!
It was close. Maybe closer than ever before.
¿Cómo bajo? Por acá. Se viene peleita. Muchas municiones. Tuki. No, ¿y estas me las perdí? ¿En serio?
When Thomas Zane fell for Barbara Jagger, it happened fast. She was young, vibrant, and beautiful, full of life. He had never been a very happy man, and without any seeming effort, she had changed all that. Zane felt good for the first time in his life. Everything she did was another piece of a jigsaw puzzle he hadn't even known he'd been missing. And best of all, she made the words flow, strong and sharp. She was his muse.
¡Ah, anda a cagar! Adiós. ¿Hay algo? No. Qué poronga. Eso se va a levantar, tiene toda la pinta. ¡Salí! ¿Cómo la granada no lo agarró? No sé.
What the hell? The only way to reach the hillside ahead was to go through the building. I had to find a way to avoid electrocution.
No. Tengo una sola. Bien. Eso apaga la luz, ¿no? Sí. ¡No! Ok, tengo dos bengalas en esto. Chao. Me la aspiro, me la aspiro, me la aspiro. Tutto muito tranquilo. Viste, yo te dije. Hay muchas cosas para explotar acá. Chao. Trust no one in the dark. Ok. Acá. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Que me queda poquito tiempo. Tengo que terminar este capítulo. Follow. Oh, me queda bastante, boludo.
Some of the taken retained echoes of their former selves, but these were just the nerve twitches of a dead thing. Nothing remained but a shell covered and filled with darkness. In most cases, these puppets were enough for the purposes of the dark presence. But for anything more elaborate, as with the writer, it was different. It needed his mind. And so rather than taking him over completely, it merely touched him.
Estoy escuchando a alguien. Qué miedo. Ok.
There
Granadas
was
de
no
luz.
way the flashbang grenades were standard power company equipment.
Chao. ¿Qué?
I stared through the bars of the jail cell. Barry stood behind me, swaying
Oh,
on his
en la
feet,
comisaría.
looking as ill as I felt. Agent Nightingale stood on the other side of the bars with Sheriff Breaker. Nightingale had a stack of manuscript pages in his hand. He seemed unhinged as he gloated. Well, I've got you
what the
now,
fuck?
Raymond Chandler. It's all here. All the evidence, including conspiracy to murder a federal agent.
Federal agent. Un termópila. No. No sé si es para acá o para allá. No. Para allá es. Me caigo. Acá que hay. Trust no one in the dark. Ok. 3 granadas. Una va acá. Tuki. Pum. No, las granadas estas están buenísimas. No, me tengo que ir, boludo. Puta madre. A ver si me da checkpoint ahí. Si me da checkpoint, termino acá. Y mañana vicio un ratito más. Bien. Checkpoint. Alt F4. Ok.